So right-wing thugs, essentially the foot soldiers of Stephen Christopher Yaxley Lennon, that's his real name, who is also known as Tommy Robinson. So they have continued to cause more violence in the UK. After causing riots and Islamophobic attacks in Southport, Manchester, Liverpool, Bolton and Tamworth, these thugs have now brutalized people and damaged properties in Plymouth and South Belfast. Idiots on BBC and ITV would tell you that these terrorists are anti-immigration protesters. This is what the Israeli and Zionist interference in the British media does to you. Let's admit it, this is an Israeli/Zionist sponsored project to cause unrest in the UK immediately after the UK said it was not going to go ahead with its objection to the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant against war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu and his defense minister. That's the truth. We cannot deny that. Or else, can anyone tell me why you would attack a mosque to vent your anger on the Southport stabbings? Why? What was the connection? The boy who killed these girls was not a Muslim. So why would you attack a mosque in response to the Southport stabbings? There's also nothing to suggest that the boy who killed those girls was an illegal immigrant. So what was the trigger for such an endless cycle of violence? Does it not surprise you why suddenly all pro-Israeli individuals such as Tommy Robinson, Katie Hopkins and even Elon Musk, the owner of Twitter, have come together to inflame the situation in the UK and the Labour government is acting so helplessly? Let's examine the role of Musk, the world's richest man, and how he has single-handedly made sure that the UK continues to burn for a long, long time. And if one of his latest tweets is anything to go by, the guy has actually called for a civil war. He's writing that the civil war is inevitable. With 200 million followers, he's writing on Twitter, the civil war in the UK is inevitable. What is he suggesting? I mean, seriously? I'm going to play few videos of his dangerous activities on his own platform, Twitter. A platform that he bought for over $45 billion a few years ago. Watch this. This is Musk's reaction to Keir Starmer's video in which the British PM can be seen saying that this is not a protest, it is pure violence. His government will have a standing army of public duty officers, will ramp up criminal justice, apply criminal law online as well as offline, and will not tolerate attacks on mosques and on Muslim communities. Now, it's a very fair comment from the Prime Minister in the wake of a series of attacks on Muslim properties and Muslim places of worship. Musk doesn't like it. And he posts his reply to provoke people to more violence. He writes, "Shouldn't you be concerned about attacks on all communities?" Whilst the original video of Starmer warning right-wing thugs of consequences received little over 6 million views, Musk's provocative tweet got more than 9 million views. Elon Musk is not a fool. Right-wing thugs have only targeted mosques and other Muslim properties. No other communities have been attacked by them. And yet, he posts this tweet, only to provoke other communities in the UK. In another tweet, a Twitter handle who posts fake news implying that the British police was calling the victims of stabbing Nazi and threatening to jail them, whilst protecting Muslims even when they were coming to kill them. With 200 million followers and a status of being the world's richest man, Musk should have known it better, that this is not true and this is only to further inflame an already tense situation. Yet he goes on to lend legitimacy to such a dangerous propaganda by commenting on the tweet. And what does he write? He writes, does seem one-sided. What was it? The original tweet wasn't a video, it wasn't a real policeman, it wasn't a real person, it was a caricature. But then his reply gives an impression that this is happening in real. Does seem one-sided? What a sick, hate-mongering idiot you have become, Elon. This is an imaginary caricature drawn by a thug from your fraternity to demonize British police and British Muslims. And just because you are instructed to follow the orders of your Zionist masters in Israel, you can stoop to a new law by giving legitimacy to this fake news. Then in another tweet, a little known Twitter handle posted a tweet saying that the UK government prioritizes protecting mosques over British girls in their dance classes. Musk once again comments on this tweet, despite knowing that there is no connection to mosque security and the stabbings of those 3 girls. In fact, Musk's racist friends have used the unfortunate incident of those stabbings to attack mosques when Muslims had nothing to do with those stabbings. Guess what? Musk is usually very quick to add community notes whenever there is a video or a tweet on Israeli war crimes to downplay its impact. But when Tommy Robinson and Katie Hopkins were posting fake tweets calling the Southport killer a Muslim, Musk refused to add any community notes. No consequences on those fake tweets. That's how sick this individual has become. Was he always like this, racist? Or deranged? Or Islamophobe? I don't know. Perhaps money has gone into his head. But he doesn't realize that wealth doesn't last forever. And it can't guarantee you inner happiness. Does he not worry about potentially having the blood of so many people who may fall victims to his support for hate? You only have to look at his Twitter timeline to understand what a sad person this man has reduced himself to. He spends most part of his day commenting on or sharing any tweets that are designed to portray Muslims in a poor light. I used to follow him, but I don't anymore. I give his example to my children that if money leads you to become someone as twisted as Musk, then reject that money. It's simple. It's important to be the right kind of human with less wealth than become a petty criminal with a lot of wealth. Now let's look at the last clip. Tommy Robinson posted a video objecting to Keir Starmer's announcement that those who carried out the brutal attacks on a mosque in Southport in response to stabbings of the 3 girls were thugs. So what is he objecting? He's objecting that how dare you call us thugs even when we attack mosques and attacks individuals and attacks innocent people. Don't call us thugs. That's what he was objecting to. Who has come to support him? Again, Musk. Robinson, who is facing terrorism charges, no less than terrorism charges in the UK, also objected to Starmer's announcement on the use of facial recognition technology to identify criminals. Once again, guess who moved in with lightning speed to amplify Robinson's tweet? Elon Musk. You have to understand why commenting on social media posts on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram or TikTok video is important. Janta Ka Reporter has been a partner with Twitter before Musk bought the platform, and we have also partnered with YouTube in the past. These social media platforms are designed in a way that comments and likes tend to amplify the reach of the original post. Musk has 200 million followers, more than 3 times the UK population. Do you still need to understand the reason? Do you still need to understand the reason and the motive behind his dirty design? My question is to Keir Starmer. Why are you not announcing measures against Twitter? Because your inaction or weakness against Twitter is going to give you plenty of headaches in future. I'm telling you. If you do not want these riots and violence to spiral out of control, which it is already doing, You have to act against Twitter and Musk, and act now. You are the PM of the United Kingdom, a first world country, a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. And yet, you are acting so weak. Even Bangladesh will make Musk crawl in such a situation. The man is shit scared of India. He would never think of indulging in such theatrics and dangerous design in those countries. How is he being allowed to get away in the UK? You know why Musk is happy to crawl in India? Because he knows what will follow in such circumstances. India raided the office of Twitter in the past when the Modi government, Narendra Modi government, was unhappy with the functioning of Twitter. Ask the BBC what happened to them very recently when they ended up rubbing the Modi government up the wrong way. The Delhi office was raided and the BBC was forced to dissolve its company in India. Such an unprecedented move. In an unprecedented move, all BBC employees in India had to resign. A new company had to be formed, and all those ex-BBC employees are now working for that newly formed Indian company. So they are not BBC employees anymore. This is what Modi government made BBC to do. Let me make this very clear. I'm not condoning the brutal suppression of freedom of speech in India. I'm not. I will never do that. This is just to give an example as to why people like Musk will crawl in India but not in the UK. His action here in the UK is directly contributing to more and more violence. If I were the PM, I wouldn't hesitate banning the Twitter for a very long time and imposing a hefty financial penalty. And I'm not talking about just a few hundreds of thousands of pounds. It must be in excess of £1 billion at least. Use that money to rebuild the damaged properties and assets and even pay to those people as compensation who have been affected by this violence. This is the language they understand. Hope K. Starmer is listening to me. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. God bless you all.